Hi everybody, it's Jenn from McCreath. It's Wednesday night, September 6, 2017. I am running for City Council, the St. John's City Council. I'm seeking one of the 4 at-large seats. Part of my campaign includes online question and answers to be sent to me through social media, in which I will turn this lovely camera on and give you my answers and thoughts. What are we going to do, Jennifer, about needles in this city? Yeah, it's an ongoing thing that happens in the news. Needles are being used and discarded all over the city in public places, including parks where children would like to play. All sorts of ideas and finger pointing has gone on, solutions. First and foremost, I think we need to recognize the challenge and problems with the very use of drugs, be them legal or illegal. Specifically illegal drug use is a problem in this city, and we can have a whole argument about whether we should criminalize and throw drug users in jail or if they need help. Obviously the big fix solution, looking down from above the macro level, is to try to find ways to help people who are addicted to drugs and get them off of these drugs. Nobody should have to feel that they are stuck being a drug addict, having to use needles. Much worse, use them in an unsafe manner out in public and discard these needles. Safe injection sites. I know that's worked in other cities. I know that's been suggested by some folks around here. I believe there actually are existing nonprofit entities that offer this type of service. I guess the question, though, is why are drug users not using these services? Are they afraid? Are they using illegal drugs? They don't want to be seen by other people using these drugs, so they'd rather go out into the park and hide at 3 in the morning. That might be part of the problem. Someone's also suggested bins, garbage bins or something. In addition to having garbage cans in the city, we have needle disposal containers. That might solve the problem, it might not. Some people are going to say safe injection sites and needle containers enables and encourages drug use, and I can't disagree with that. But again, I go back to, this is more than just needles being thrown in a park. You got to go to the root of the problem. Why are so many people on drugs and addicted to drugs? Is there enough help out there? If not, let's beef up the help services. If people are refusing to help themselves or refusing to access that help, we need to investigate that further. Why are drug users not seeking help to get off the drugs? How can we get them to want to help themselves? Are they incapable of making that decision? I guess that's another question we have to look at. Mental health and addictions. This goes beyond municipal politics and touches on provincial health as well as federal justice. At what point do we have to consider someone unable to make decisions that are in the best interest of themselves? At what point do we consider someone a risk to themselves and a risk to others? When people are undergoing some sort of crisis and are engaging in the use of illegal drugs, and are at the point where they are a risk to themselves and or a risk to the public, when they are being someone is notifying authorities, well, what exactly happens? I've always advocated that putting a mentally ill or drug addicted person in the back of a police car is not necessarily the best way to help them. I'm sure that's a traumatic experience. Taking them to a hospital for assessment and help in theory seems like a good idea. But I guess the question is, what is our provincial healthcare system doing when these individuals are being taken to provincial health facilities for help? Why are they not properly being helped? Why is it that they are released and back out on the streets and using drugs again, leaving needles wherever? I think that's a huge problem. And again, I go back to the backbone of my campaign is working together. The city needs to sit down with provincial reps and have conversations about this. St. John's very different perhaps than any other city or town or rural environment in terms of the magnitude of drug use, illegal drug sales in the town, as well as discarded drug paraphernalia and needles. I guess I'll expand on the needle comment and get into drugs as a whole. Drugs, there's a prolific, what's that word George Bush used to say? Proliferation, prolification, the growth. There seems to be more drugs in the city, more people wanting them, more people using them. Organized crime, we're seeing violence. Where it used to be that someone pulled a knife on someone, it was big news, and it was very, very rare that you would hear about firearms being used. Now it seems to be more and more common. Firearms are being used. Violent crimes are being committed in this city, and a lot of the times it is with regards to drugs. How do we stop drugs from coming into our city, into our province, into our country? Again, I think you got to have a conversation with. You got to look at our federal customs and immigration system. How are all these drugs getting into our country? It's not just St. John's. It's not just Newfoundland and Labrador. It's a nationwide problem, and we really need to have a conversation with the feds. Is it the Criminal Code of Canada that needs to be amended? Do we need tougher laws? Do we need tougher penalties? Is there something that the province can do at the healthcare system level? How about the education system? Can we do a better job getting people when they're young? You go to school, you're 5 years old. Start creating a culture that includes not having drugs as part of your life. Can we research? Are there certain type of demographics? Are there certain type of individuals? I hate putting people into boxes, but if we can isolate particular segments of the population that are higher at risk for drug use, can we put more resources into preventative educational matters? Crime rate in general, I'm going to touch on that in another video, but I'll admit I don't have all the answers on drugs and needles, but I do think I can play a role in getting more of the right people to the table to engage in conversations that will allow us to work together to find solutions, because right now we're not seeing teamwork, we're not seeing solutions. There you go. Thanks for watching.